Ray, I can't tell you the number of salespeople that I have said almost verbatim what you said there. If you ask the right questions and you stop talking, the customer is going to tell you what you need to tell them for them to be able to say yes.
Yeah, it's not magic, right? But we often get so, tied up with our products. We want to get through our demo. We want to throw all the features out because it's so great. But if that doesn't solve their problem, then that's just noise, right? It's like the car dealer that's telling you about all the features that you don't really care about, and your eyes start to glaze over.
Yeah, you're there to buy a pickup, but they're selling you features in a sedan. It's like, hey, look, that's a great looking car, but that's not what I need.
100%. Yep.
Yeah, nice. Um, I want to pivot over to your book for a second. Let me just bring that up on the screen so people can see it. And as I mentioned in the intro, it's available on Amazon. What are some of the big concepts that people might be able to take from this book?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've touched on a number of them. We we have what we consider the pillars of a high impact sales manager. So, for many of us, we transition from a salesperson to manager, and they're like, "Wait a minute, this is a different job, right? You're getting work done through others. You do have to be more strategic." But we break it down into, do you know how to recruit and hire? So, what does a good rep look like in your organization? What's that profile? How do you use behavior based interviewing to really understand whether they've demonstrated those skills? And how do you make that selection? Because often, you know, we tend to hire people that look like ourselves, and that may not be the best for the organization. But what's going to make them successful? And then we talk about managing performance, so setting expectations, success factors and metrics, and then managing those behaviors, those leading indicators that are going to produce the results we're looking for. And what happens when there's a gap? How do we have that conversation? And then into the whole coaching conversation, as we've already talked about. So, what are their skill gaps? How do we have a good coaching conversation and collaborate with them? And then we kind of wrap it up with the pipeline, managing the pipeline and forecasting, and sales leadership. How do you motivate and inspire your team? So, those are components. It's not rocket science, but they're also foundational concepts of what a good frontline manager needs to do that we're often not taught, or there, frankly, isn't a lot of good curriculum out there. It focuses on, managing the CRM or just the pipeline piece, but it misses, being a good leader and manager.